Hello there, welcome to Chess Tech. In this video I'm going to do an update of my review of FIDE's Online Arena. Now the Online Arena was started in 2015 by FIDE, and it was the platform, the software that you play on was provided by a company called Premium Chess. Now 3 years have gone by, and the big deal about the FIDE Online Arena was, if you don't know, is that it was the first place where you could get a official quote marks FIDE online rating for playing obviously chess online, and you could get these titles for playing online. So as you can see, FIDE titles for the lower rated players: Arena Grandmaster 2000, Arena International Master 1700, Arena FIDE Master 1400, and Arena Candidate Master 1100. Now obviously these are about 500 points out, well, over that in real life terms of ELO. So obviously a real life Grandmaster has to get around 2500, International Master 2400, FIDE Master 2300. So you can see these are meant for the amateur players who haven't got a title. Okay, but interestingly enough, which I'll come on to in a minute, if you are a FIDE Master, you can actually still have this award when you're in the arena. So if you are an official FIDE Master, that is. But anyway, don't worry about that too much. So as you can see here, we have some people that have got their titles until March the 31st 2018. So is this really a good thing or a bad thing? A lot of people have, there's a lot of mixed reaction about it, really. I mean, the bottom line is, I should just say, actually, in order to get these titles, that you have to play X number of games and maintain the rating of 2000. So for Arena Grandmaster, you have to play 100 Blitz games with a 2000 rating maintained throughout the whole time, and if you drop below that, it resets and you have to do the 100 again. So actually, it's relatively hard. I mean, it's 150 for bullet and 50 for rapid, I think. It's not quite as easy starting from scratch as some people have made out. And I think that may be one reason why some people are a bit negative and written it off, because they can't get the title they want, Arena International Master or AGM, because they can't maintain those ratings. So there's that. I suppose my negative side, there's always a problem with online chess, is that you don't know who you're playing and who is playing. So I could get my dad, who happens to be a Grandmaster, sit him in front of the computer, get him to play a load of games for me, and get me an AGM title. There you go. I mean, how do we really know? Now this title, if you didn't know, appears on your FIDE rating card, actually in front of your name. Okay, so which is quite an interesting a thing, so people look you up online, they can actually see that you are an official Arena Grandmaster, an AGM. Anyway, so as for this whole thing, has it really gone anywhere? To me, my gut feeling is that in a nutshell, in 3 years, it's pretty much stagnated and just been trundled along. Hasn't really had any investment, hasn't been pushed, or I suppose that may be a bit harsh, it's just so hard to break into the online chess world. With you've got ICC, chess.com, leechess.org, these three big ones dominating the chess world. Poor old FIDE, it's very hard to get a look in. Now that said, the fact they offer real online ratings and a certificate and a title and all that, you thought would have been a bit of a pull. The problem with that is that you've got to pay for these titles. So I think it's $50 or euros for AGM, 30, 20, 10 or whatever it is. It's not a huge sum of money, it's a one-off fee. So I don't know really, maybe that puts people off, I'm not sure. Anyway, so let's get rid of that and have a look at this playing interface. So basically, it's not a bad playing interface actually. The site itself is, the software is pretty good. I mean, it is actually for playing. I'm just going to chuck a game out there, see what happens. here we go. So here's somebody here who wants to play a game. I'm not going to play them at the moment. I can just accept that game and play. Oh look, somebody's accepted my game, so here we go. So I'm just going to play whatever I'm playing a 1 minute bullet game and talk to you about it. Now the actual playing interface has not changed at all basically in 3 years that I can see to any real extent. It's exactly the same as it was. It's not a bad playing interface. It's actually pretty slick. It's good for bullet and blitz chess actually. I don't have a problem with it in any way. I think that it's not the best in the world, but it's certainly not the worst in the world. And I actually kind of like it. So yeah, yeah, in terms of playing it, it's not bad. I'm going to see if I can win that piece there. There we go. I've won a pawn. I'm going to take my. So here we go. Bit of exchanging going on. Take my bishop. Thank you. So yeah, I don't think it's going to set the world alight. That said, there's far worse chess player. I could have fought his queen and rook then with my knight, but that's pretty appalling. He's just lost his queen, but he's only won 1300, so fair enough, Right, so he's resigned. So one of my bugbears with this software, if you just want to come on and play chess, and play people all over the world and get your official ELO rating, which by the way, to get your official ELO rating, you have to play other FIDE rated players at least X number of games against a FIDE rated opponent. So you can't just play anyone, you've got to look for official FIDE rated online players, okay? But here's an example. I just want to go over this game. I just play a game. All I want to do is look at it straight away. I don't want to do anything else. I can't do it. I've got to close it down, open it up, analyse it, turn the engine on. This software interface is okay for playing, but anything else, it's just playing really. That's all it's about. There's no time or effort really gone into any of the other analysis aspects, not compared to lead chess. Lead chess is about 50 billion times better than this in every aspect, probably. I would say, possibly, except I do like I say, that I do like the playing interface and platform. It's very solid, it's responsive, it's very good for bullet games, it's not glitchy in any way, it's good. That's not to say lead chess isn't good. Lead chess is good, it's just different. It's in your browser, it's not an application. So this is an application you download and install on your computer to play on the FIDE Online Arena. It's not in a web browser. I think it's much better, much more robust for serious chess playing than in a browser. But that said, you can still play in a browser fine. It's just personal preference. But anyway, going back to this, so what we've got here is an interface that's pretty basic, but good for playing chess, and that's it. So, obviously you've got your usual things up here, my connection, but it's just a bit annoying. Other programs, I could just run that game through a computer quickly, or the engine it gives you built in, just go, oh yeah, I should have done this or that. Can't do that here, that's the end of it. So I played a game, my rating went up. Players online, these are all the people available online. In blue, they're FIDE rated players, okay, so that is a person with a FIDE rated player, right? If I go FIDE only, it just shows me them, and you can see there aren't many. Take it away, there's not more. This brings me on to the fact, 126 games in progress. Another problem with this site, I've been coming on it nearly every other day for probably 3 years solid, and there's hardly any games taking place. You can come on this site UK GMT time or something like that, at 10 o'clock at night, there's nobody to play. It's just dead. You go to challenges, there's just nothing here. You put a challenge out there, you'll wait minutes, hours for a challenge. You could say I could set my parameters wider so I could play anybody, but if I want to play somebody between 1600 and 2000, that's who I want to play. Go on any chess site, you will get a game within about 10 seconds, I guarantee you, any of the main ones. Tournaments, pretty pants, just what it is. You can see there's not a lot of thought and effort gone into this. You've got a few videos here that you've got access to, a couple of good ones by Valerie Liloff, but it's pretty poor quality, low end stuff. It's just okay. That's the word. It's not terrible. It's not brilliant. It's just okay. And this is your analysis board, which I was saying about earlier, which is okay, but pretty pants as well. Just annoying. So yeah, what I'd say is the biggest problem with this site is there's thousands of UK people that play chess online on other sites, and they're not interested in joining this site. And the plain and simple truth is, for a number of factors, like probably it's just a bit old and clunky. There's not much analysis tools. It's hard to get a game. It's just not great really. Even though they could get a rating, they're not interested, which is interesting. So you can see the highest rated players on here as well. Pretty limp. There's nobody. You're hardly seeing anybody over 2200. I mean, 2200's a rarity on here. I mean, there's a lot of very, very low rated players on here with their training low. But I mean, that's okay. But if you want to play somebody who's not 1200 or 1500, then that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? But that's not to say it's not any good and these people aren't having fun. So now, interestingly, one thing that annoys me on here, it's got some stupid rules like if you're a member of FIDE and you've got a published FIDE official rating and then you join the online arena, you have to have your private name published to the world to see, in the lobby here, okay? And what's annoying about this is that I can't see why on earth it is that it's just a bit odd that, this chap here has to have his name plastered for the world to see, and yet somebody above him can just play anonymously, and nobody will know what they are with a random username, which I think is a bit out of order. It's a bit like, when you play online, privacy is quite an important thing, and you don't want to be exposed to the world. But the fact that it's this sort of rule where they've said, well, you've got to plaster your real name all over the internet because it's FIDE. I'm not particularly happy about that. I'm not particularly happy about the way you join up in the sign-up process. A little bit, just the whole. I develop software for a living, so I understand the architecture of creating online systems. I just don't like it that much. I'm worried slightly. I mean, it's probably nothing. I hope it's better now about where your personal details are handled and kept and all this sort of stuff. You've got to upload pictures of your passport and that to get a rating, all the rest of it. Obviously, you can go on another site and you haven't got to bother. But obviously, this site is trying to set a precedent of being the official site where there's online, it's official online rating. Now, whether that will catch on soon, I don't know. It's very hard to break into that world, like I've said. On here again, there's a lot of Eastern European players. There's hardly anybody from Western Europe or the USA on here, which obviously is dominated by chess.com and ICC. I get that. I'm just saying another thing. So, like I say, you're not going to find it's all Italy basically, and Greece. Russia. I don't know why that is. It's just for some reason they're not reaching out or marketing themselves properly to be able to get a bigger audience, which is what they need to keep it going. Now, if this thing's got any hope of surviving, desperately need to redesign it and do some better marketing, and they might be able to save it. But as it stands at the moment, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing was just shut down in a few years, because, to be honest, it's just, you just look at the games in progress and the amount of people on it. It's just, it's dead. You can just say there's just nothing going on. So I don't know what to say really. That sounds a bit negative, but look at the games in progress. It's just, it's like tumbleweeds out there. But like I say, I do like it. I'm on an interesting thing at the moment where I'm comparing my ratings on here, where I'm playing an elite chess, where I'm trying to get a 2300, 2000 or whatever it is blitz. It's actually interesting. It's much harder on here to get 2000 blitz rating. I'm finding. Yeah, I suppose I want to say the standard and strength on here is stronger, possibly, than on other sites I've experienced, which is interesting. But there's some odd disparities. Like, you'll play somebody who's got a FIDE rating, official real life rating of 2150, very strong player. You play them on there and you just crush them in seconds in the blitz game. And I don't understand. You go and look at their profile afterwards and see that this person is like a proper chess player playing all the time. I don't know if that's just because they're getting into chess or online or something, maybe that's what it is, but there's a few odd things like that, and it's obvious there's some kids playing on here using daddy's username. I just feel like 1 minute you're playing the same person and they're amazing, and next minute they're shocking. Does that really matter? It's this online thing, and that's probably the issue of all online chess playing. In the end, is how can you prove who is sat at the computer? So, yeah, in a nutshell, what we've got is a site here that it's just stumbling along really, and it needs something injected into it very quickly, or we're going to have a problem. It's not going to survive. Um, it's just looking old really. But like I say, I'm moaning. I do play here, and I've had some good games and some good fun here. It's just something. I can't put my finger on it. I probably have all the ranting that I've done. It's just not really, doing it for me. Anyway, I hope that review was helpful, and I'm going to try and do another review in a few months' time, see whether they've managed to do anything, and hopefully you will have got something from this. Don't take it as completely negative, because it is a good. It's still worth. I personally think this site is worth whatever it is a year to play something very much like €40, and then a €50 title. If you've got an AGM title for one-off €50 fee, and you play on here for €40, it's okay. It's no problem. It's not a rip-off or anything. It's just needs. Don't expect it to be like chess.com with tactics trainers and amazing analysis boards and forums and people talking. It's just come on here, you play a game of chess, you leave again. That's what it is really. So anyway, thank you very much for listening to my review, and I hope that you found this useful. Any comments or questions, please leave them on YouTube.